The new Americans seem to be saying, in the devil we trust. But today, children will go to school to be taught that you are a male, but you can choose to be a female, and your parents have nothing to say about it. And they have to allow you to become that. That's freedom, not freedom. Anybody in Nigeria should be ready for what the pregnancy Nigeria is carrying about to deliver by February. Whatever you can do for these bloodsuckers not to succeed, you do it. If it is spiritual, if it is physical, let it be done. I have always said it. Rather than shedding people's blood, if Nigeria is going to divide, let it divide. I don't pray for it. Any Christian who votes for APC has denied Christ. It's not because of party. Because this is an insult to the faith. If the youths of this country, if anywhere they are there, they're listening to me, if they allow these ancestors to take over power in this country again, God will not forgive them. What do they use to divide the people of Nigeria?
Yes, sir.
Tribalism.
Yes, sir.
Religiosity.
Yes, sir.
This one is from my religion. This one is from my tribe. The people from your tribe are all of them well?
No, sir.
So why should I come and stand for you that you are from my tribe or from my religion when I know what I'm going through? I have shared the vision shown to me, you know, how the map of Nigeria snapped away from the staff. And that staff is a wicked ruler, a wicked or weak ruler, fell from it and submerged into the pool of blood. I have always prayed that that sin will never happen. Youths of Nigeria, especially, and everywhere meaning Nigeria, should be able to rise up in this time and say, enough.
It's enough.
It's enough. These vultures out there don't mean any well for anybody. Their children are not suffering. The money they have embezzled, their generation will not finish it. Some of them, their children are cocaine smokers in abroad, living anyhow. Because you cannot take what belongs to the poor man.
Yes, sir.
And then give your children to go and live stupid, luxurious, meaningless life and think they will amount to anything. God will judge all of them. God will judge them and judge their generation. Because when you come into office, it's to serve.
Yes, sir. To serve.
It's to serve, not to starve the people. And so, because you know you have people guiding you, policemen and army and whatever guiding you and your family, and the others are dying as if they are not the same human beings, God will judge it. This is a time of reality. This is a time we have to come to our senses and say, these people, you have used us, fooled us, enough.
Well, it's another very wonderful, lovely moment in the new year, brand new year, 2023. We want to first say Happy New Year to all of you viewers around the world, in Nigeria, in the United Kingdom, Germany, France, Canada, all over the world, Europe, Africa, wherever you are listening to us. This is the first interview of the year today, Friday, 6th of January, year 2023. And because we are starting it on a godly path, we want God to minister to us the truth and to help us in His word and to help us to navigate the year so that we'll have a very good year, because it's a very pregnant year in Nigeria and I'm sure in some other part of the world because it's a political year. But today we are starting with a man of God, a great man of God, a man of impeccable achievement, a Bible scholar, a teacher, a seer, a thinker, a doer, an author of impeccable literary achievement, somebody who has written over 20 books, 25 books on ethical Christianity, on deliverance, on moral development, and every other subtitle in the Christian ecclesiastical theology. We want to appreciate the fact that he opened up to us last year and he has really helped to liberate a whole lot of people across the world, especially their Christianity, and to take some people out of the bad situation they find themselves. I'm talking about the only man that is being called a witness, witness KENPAUL OBIEKE, a man of God, a man that Jesus has appeared to in good and even ugly times to give him a message, to wipe him, to instruct him, to direct him, to help to populate heaven and depopulate hell, to write, to direct, and to give strong words to children of God across churches, across denominations. We want to appreciate the fact that this year we're going to be raising a whole lot of issues with him, especially as relates marriage, as relates sexual immorality. A whole lot of people are banded, a lot of people are entangled in all these spiritual vices, and it has degenerated them, it has disgraced them, it has relegated them from their achievement in life. And we have studied some of the book, like in the book Padlock, the padlock of your wedlock, the spirit of Beckumbos that is destroying a lot of marriages. Last year, more than 10 celebrity marriages were broken in Nigeria. I will also look at the book, The Battle of Sexual Immorality, where a whole lot of relations were revealed through the spirit of Izana that have destroyed a whole lot of people. Then we are looking at Stop Going to Church. Then we're looking at Remember Lot's Wife, which is also very revealing. We're looking at the satanic churches. How do you notice, how do you know a satanic church? How do you deliver yourself from the spirit of Beckumbos and Izana? And how do you reform yourself and know that your church is under satanic grip? Then whose church is this? These are just 6 out of 25 powerful books that we've tried to examine. And we are going to be starting to say, Daddy, we want to appreciate you, sir, and Happy New Year to you, sir.
God bless you.
You, sir.
God bless you.
We know you are so busy at the end of the year. You travel out, you went to the US, and we are looking forward to talk to you at the end of the year. But unfortunately, your age said you are not around in the country. So when you came in January, we said before you go out for global outreaches again, we should just corner you. First and foremost, I want to ask you that how is 2023, sir, and what are those things that you've seen, especially from your recent outing to the United States, and how do you think you are feeling with what you are getting from your recent relation with the outside world, sir?
God bless you.
Amen, sir.
First and foremost, I thank God for people like you.
God bless you, sir.
Helping out the lost church. You know, when the church that is supposed to seek the lost is lost, there is double tragedy. Out there, you can, even somebody who is not a seer, somebody who cannot see visions and things like that, know that the entire world is in turmoil. Governments are failing. Things that are coming to the earth, to the countries, are frightening. But you see, this is why we emphasize so much on the church that is meant to be the light of the world. because it gets more dark in the world when the church that is meant to be the light has lost its light. You understand?
Yes, sir.
What we have now is a Babylonian church. It's not the church Christ is coming.
Babylonian church.
Yes, it's not the church Christ is coming for, and that's why we are shouting. You know, when you look at America, for instance,
it's called a free society.
You know, this is the founders of America put in their money in God.
We trust.
We trust. That was the basis. That was the foundation of this wonderful country called America. But right now, the new Americans seem to be saying, in the devil we trust. But today, children will go to school to be taught that you are a male, but you can choose to be a female, and your parents have nothing to say about it. And they have to allow you to become that. That's freedom, not freedom. Now, when you look around, you don't even, know where to start in what the entire world, the entire society is turning into. You know, recently the Pope, the Pope that resigned,
yeah.
I think, died.
Yeah.
A lot of things. A lot of things are involved. Were unveiled concerning that, and when you now put all these things together,
yes, sir,
it simply portrays anarchy. But one thing is obvious: Jesus Christ said we should look up.
Jesus himself
said we should look up at a time like this, because our redemption draweth nearer. Now, when you look at Nigeria, Nigeria is a complete scam and a laughing stock. Recently, there are so many things that will make any people see Nigerians as very unserious human beings. The the central bank governor, whether the son is on the run,
the governor,
or the people who want to close certain things are pursuing him, or he is the one pursuing them. Everything is nonsensical. Now, Nigeria by February or so is going to election.
Yeah, just next month.
It's supposed to go into election. That is, if the election is
allowed to hold.
Is going to hold. And let me tell you the truth. Anybody in Nigeria should be ready for what the pregnancy Nigeria is carrying about to deliver by February. Now, this is not a prophecy of doom. Rather, it is something to make those who still have conscience, the people who are of goodwill, whatever you can do for these bloodsuckers not to succeed, you do it. If it is spiritual, if it is physical, let it be done. I have always said it. Rather than shedding people's blood, if Nigeria is going to divide, let it divide. I don't pray for it. But if Nigeria cannot be restructured in the way that there will be equality and everybody will have sense of belonging, let the country divide, let everybody look at people, agitations everywhere. Yes, Ududua, IPOB, this and that. And then some set of gang are there, comfortable, messing up, borrowing money and eating. Borrowing money that they will share and spend. And they think that can continue forever. It is not possible. There is God in heaven who still rules in the affairs of men. And we are going into some secret spiritual operation to see how Nigeria can be able to scale what is happening. And you see, we always try to make people understand something. When we talk about Nigeria, we talk about Africa.
Yes, sir.
Because all the nonsense that goes on in other countries, they copy it from Nigeria. They see Nigeria as a big brother.
Yes, sir. The biggest brother.
So they copy things that are coming from Nigeria when they are nonsensical and the rest of them. We need to understand that nobody owns Nigeria. If you are a Nigerian, it is time to stand up. When we look at the political things that are going on, we have APC.
Yes, sir.
We have PDP. We have
Labour Party.
Labour Party. These are about the three major, parties that are contesting for this. Any true Nigerian, anybody that is a true Nigerian, and even if you are not a true Nigerian, you're a sincere person. If you look at the setup, you see that there is an agenda that is not right. APC has a Muslim as a presidential candidate and the deputy a Muslim. Are you telling Christians that there is no Christian that can be? I'm not a political person. I'm not into politics. I'm not into tribal. I don't have time for all those things. I am a person that stands for the truth. Are you telling a country like Nigeria that is not a Muslim country that there is nobody that is a Christian that can deputize the person you people choose to be there? So this one is even a true Muslim will not agree to that, because it's not anybody that is a true Muslim.
A consensus Muslim.
If I am the one, if I am the one, and any party choose a Christian as president and choose vice as president, I will not support it. Because Nigeria has diversity, and you have to respect that in whatever you are doing. I'm pointing things that can cause anarchy. You understand me? Any Christian who votes for APC has denied Christ. It's not because of party. Because this is an insult to the faith. If it is any other party that did it, I would never support it for any reason. So to say that this party has their candidate as the person who finished 8 years of rubbish, or who is finishing 8 years of what Nigeria has never seen before, is a Muslim. Brought a stooge as a vice that doesn't have anything to say, that is just a portfolio. Now you people want to continue like that. This is not giving chance for peace in any nation, if anybody want to be frank. So I am pointing out this not because I'm a Christian or because of anything. I don't believe in sentiments, I believe in the truth. It is a big insult. And ironically, there are some of the so-called fathers in the church in Nigeria.
Yeah, the Christendom.
Who you see their body language, they are supporting this. To show you that they can't come out and say this is not right.
Okay.
To show you that they have a very big question mark. You don't play with a dangerous snake. This is dangerous. This is not something that any right-thinking people can take. Somebody should come out and say it as it is. This is not right. Are you saying there is no Christian that can be a deputy? That is only a Muslim. And after Muslims have finished this year, since Nigeria is the way it is, we must have to do things for equality, for balancing, so that peace will reign. So these are some of the things that we need to look at and understand that the center is not holding. And if there are people who can sit down and think,
people of trust,
think that is right in a country like Nigeria, I pity those who still see them as leaders.
But we look at 2023, sir, because I want to take you in there, because you are a clergy, you are a seer, And in most great nations, the job of nation building is lived in the hands of seers, people, prophets. I mean, people who can say, this is right, this is wrong. When you look at the three candidates, okay, we have another fourth one. I think that's Alhaji Kokwanso, the former governor of Kano State and the former minister under General Obasanjo. He even tried NNPP or something like that, and his Kaukasia movement, and he went to even bring a pastor, one Bishop Idausa, what is his name, the one in Lekki, Light Church, the one that is using hand to push people to fall. The moment he raises his hand, people are falling on the floor, people are losing their trousers, their suit, and all the rest. That is Bishop Idausa, that's his deputy. Then we also have the one who called himself Atiku Abubakar or something like that. He's a former vice president to General Obasanjo, who was a leader for 8 years. And in his book, My Watch, Obasanjo described him as a very horrible, corrupt individual and liken him to something worse than corruption.
Hands.
He asked a good question.
He did. We'll be here all night. Yeah.
No, he asked a good question, but he spoiled it at the end. I said, why not Atiku? What issue do you have with him?
That was Zainab Osman, yeah. Okay.
Zainab.
Yeah.
I have no personal issue with Atiku. But if I then, with what I know about Atiku, which you can read in my book.
Okay, read the book. Are you a member of his family?
If, with what I know about Atiku, if I have put Atiku forward, God will not have forgiven me.
Okay. Okay.
The testament is there, the book is there, it has not been erased. And his boss has even said that if he gave him the power, God will not forgive him. He's in that party, and he took a governor from Delta, Mr. Okowa, as his deputy. Then we have Mr. Peter Obi, a very gentle former governor of Anambra State, who was bamboozled in his political time, who was able to manage, and he came into power, changed a lot of things from the moral perspective of a politician. He was a very prudent politician. In all his 8 years as governor of Anambra, he was not even using a siren. He was always moving in buses. He coached balls with his commissioners. He's the governor that a prefect of his school can call and say, Mr. Governor, our school don't have water, please. And he will call the commissioner for water resources or the commissioner for education and say, answer that school, do this, do that. In his time, Anambra rose up to be the best in terms of education. Gentleman, easygoing, businessman, of course. We can say he's an importer-exporter. Well, he has been able to comport himself, very young, dynamic, and all that. Then we have the fourth man who said that we need a town hall that is different from Bala Blue, Blue, Bulaba. Until now, people are saying he should be there. He has said a lot of other things in town halls. He even said that people have not paid down money for roasted corn, that the energy, we need to pay for energy that can roast a corn or roast barley. I mean, this man has shown all that is fantastic former governor of Lagos State. He has done well in his time, but age appears to be catching up. Even his cognitive expression is showing that there is a whole lot of things. And he is the one that brought in another governor, Shetima, from Borno, who is a Muslim. He appears to be a fundamentalist. Some people see him that way anyway, though he tried in his 8 years as governor of Borno State. But when you look at the four of this candidate, what is your fear for 2023? Because we are just 4 weeks or 5 weeks away to elections, sir.
Without mentioning war, any true Nigeria, you see Obasanjo did something recently in endorsing P2B.
Yes, sir. That was just 4 days ago. 1st of January.
That will be enough. That will be enough for any crime he has committed against this nation to be forgiven. It's enough proof that he lost this country. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
If the youths of this country, if anywhere they are there, they're listening to me, if they allow these ancestors to take over power in this country again, God will not forgive them. Anywhere anyone is that is a youth, if they allow these vampires to take over power again in this country, God will leave them to suffer for the rest of their lives. They don't take their time. You don't look at, you see something that is black, you are checking whether it's white. It is obvious that among these people you mentioned, P2B is the person. We need a new Nigeria, a new generation. These people you have spoken about Atiku. Yes, everybody knows his antecedent.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, the one he deputized had described him. He knew him very well, and everything about him is known. Are these the type of people you are going to give a Nigeria that is already dead into their hands? Now, you spoke about the other one. Look at his age. Look at the mockery he's been made, and his deputy, the big question marks about Boko Haram and the rest, have they been clarified? Why did they choose that person to deputize him? The reason is because they don't see him as going to last. So they have their game plan. They just see him as a scarecrow, that will be used
momentarily,
and then what will Nigeria turn to in the hands of somebody who has the type of accusations that are surrounding this man? Where is this Nigeria going to end? Listen, I grew up with P2B in the same community. Look at our house. Look at their house. But that will never make me to support him. You will look at somebody. I mean, look at our house. Look at.
You mean the same Peter Gregory Obi?
This P2B that is running for
His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi.
That is running for presidency. Look at our house in Onitsha. Look at their own house. We all grew up in the same community. I know him from childhood. You understand? But that has no meaning. It's not sentiment. It's no matter of who you know or where you are coming from or not. We want this Nigeria to take a new phase, or whatever is going to happen, for people to go their different ways. Let it happen. And that is where I stand. Anybody who look at the way Nigeria is, people cannot eat. Students can't go to school. The youths don't have future. Now, the debt Nigeria is owing, I don't know which generation will finish paying it. These people are there, and they want to take over. Now, these people you called now, when they enter again, is it not them and their friends will continue the same thing?
Of course, sir. Atiku even said anybody that is going to sell NPCs to his friends.
So what is the future? What is the hope of the country? So it is time we don't deceive ourselves anymore and tell ourselves the truth. Because what do they use to divide the people of Nigeria?
Yes, sir.
Tribalism.
Yes, sir.
Religiosity.
Yes, sir.
This one is from my religion. This one is from my tribe. The people from your tribe are all of them well?
No, sir.
So why should I come and stand for you that you are from my tribe or from my religion when I know what I'm going through? That it didn't make any difference, yes, and sir, cannot make any difference even concerning our children. So Nigeria is facing acid test. I have shared the vision shown to me, how the map of Nigeria snapped away from the staff, and that staff is a wicked ruler, a wicked or weak ruler, fell from it and submerged into the pool of blood. I have always prayed that sin will never happen. The whole map of Nigeria fell from the hand of a leader, not a leader, we don't have leaders, a ruler. Because that's what is signified, and then fell into blood submerged. So, and you see, the irony of it is that some of us, especially the artisans, you know, the people who they can brainwash with things that have no meaning, and at the end of the day, they will be the ones at the receiving end, don't know the truth. Don't understand that these people don't mean well for them. No matter what, even if it's from your village, it doesn't mean well. Go and check some of these politicians. Go to their village. Do they come back? Abuja is their home. Do they care what anybody goes through? So there is need for a revolution in Nigeria, because if you know, you see, one thing is important, everybody understand it. If you are interested in peace, prepare for war. If you say you are interested in peace and you don't prepare for war, you are a joker. Youths of Nigeria, especially, and everywhere meaning Nigeria, should be able to rise up in this time and say, enough
is enough.
Is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is, and they can do it. They can do it in any way. Soldiers are more in the youths. Police are more in the youths. Everywhere, youths are more. Is it not when you command somebody to go and kill the mother and he's stupid enough for nothing that he will listen to you?
No.
So it is time to for everybody to raise his voice, no matter how small it is, and wherever you are, to decide that this Nigeria, we are going to make it better now, or break it into pieces and let everybody take his own cake and go and manage. That is the whole truth about it. There's no sentiment. These vultures out there don't mean any well for anybody. Their children are not suffering. The money they have embezzled, their generation will not finish it. Some of them, their children are cocaine smokers in abroad, living anyhow. Because you cannot take what belongs to the poor man.
Yes, sir.
And then give your children to go and live stupid, luxurious, meaningless life and think they will amount to anything. God will judge all of them. God will judge them and judge their generation. Because when you come into office, it's to serve.
Yes, sir. To serve.
It's to serve, not to starve the people.
To serve, not to starve.
No, not to starve the people.
Not to make a bag of rice to be 50,000.
Not to...
and foil out of reach, very expensive, even with the cost of living.
My dear,
expensive, even electricity, very expensive.
If you know how many families that could not afford food on Christmas Day, on New Year Day, and you know, for the first time in the history of this country, you will cry.
Okay.
So how do we continue like that? A government that can leave students to stay in the house for how many months is a senseless government. Is a useless government. A government that can do it, any government that can do it, is a useless government. Students to stay at home for months, and you don't care.
8 months.
And you don't care. That government is not a government. It's not, it doesn't even understand what governance is all about, because it's unheard for. And the money involved that these people are asking for is money that one of you can steal. In a place where snakes carry money and rats carry money and everything carry money.
Well, monkeys are always in their account department.
You understand? So it's annoying. It's very, very annoying. But the bottom line is, any Nigerian, or even if you're not a Nigerian, who is listening to it, should this continue? They have planned how they will rig the election. They have planned how this election will not hold. They have planned everything, everything. The ones that are ready for war, they are there and things like that. But I always tell people that God is always ahead of the devil.
God, Jehovah,
is always ahead of the devil. Is always ahead of the devil. We mean well for every Nigerian, irrespective of your religion. Many people who work for me, who do certain things for me, they are Muslims, and we are so close.
In fact, some of our staff are Muslims.
We are so close. They even, if I have any program, they will come. They are so close.
Very fantastic people.
They are very wonderful people. So this is no matter of this person is that, that person is that. It doesn't have meaning.
Political convenience.
We need to come to our senses now, before it's too late. These people have deceived the nation, this country, enough. And wherever you are, market women, those who are around you, try to educate them. Because tomorrow when they start sharing them 2 cups of rice and 1 Maggi and Gary, you will use it to sell your destiny and that of your children.
Is it for what? Is it for eba? Beans and dodo. Is it for Gary? Eba, beans and dodo.
So, you see, we Nigerians, anybody who feel unconsigned, you are feeling unconsigned because you are not living. Because by the time whatever happens, you will know that irrespective of who you think you are, you'll be consigned. And if Nigeria gets it right now, it will be for the good and the benefit of everybody. The people that are agitating, you call them. What is the problem? Because what is causing all these things is because there are people who feel they are not being treated the way they are supposed to be treated. There are those who feel that Nigeria belongs to them.
No fair deal.
That is that is their property. Who is telling you such rubbish in this age? So we pray that God will see us through. We are praying. We are praying because it's better to judge than to war.
To judge than to war.
It is better.
So that we not see war in Warsaw.
It is better. So that at the end of the day, you see, why my own concern is so deep is because the vision I saw.
Yeah, that vision you shared with us in December.
It is.
A lot of people have been so afraid.
It is, my dear.
Us that we should ask you more questions. How do they avert this vision?
This is what we are discussing. Apart from the spiritual aspect of it, physically, let's reason like human beings. Apart from the spiritual aspect, which is very important, and we are praying, and there are many other people who are sincerely praying too. Let us do things like human beings. Let us try to understand that no Nigerian is more Nigerian than the other Nigerian.
No Nigerian is more Nigerian than the other Nigerian.
No. Until we come to that truth, we will not get it right. And if we miss it 2023, God forbid, I'm sorry. Very, very, very sorry.
But how do you handle the issue of people that are ready to sell their destiny for a porridge of 5,000 naira, 2,000 naira, 3,000 naira, 2 derika of rice, 1 derika of gari, 4 yard of Ankara, and some packet of Indomie?
That has been the irony of this country called Nigeria. And we are shouting and saying, let it not be like that anymore. If I come to bribe you
to vote for me,
or
buy your vote,
to start with, even what they are being given is what belongs to them. Check all these politicians. Where did they make their money from?
From politics.
So whose money is that?
That's the people that is the Commonwealth.
So why would they use it now to give you peanuts for you to continue in your slavery and you think it's okay? If you go to Katsina, where Buhari came from, is from, there are people who can eat there. So it's not a matter of that Buhari is your brother, or is your uncle, or is your this and that. There are people there who are languishing in poverty. So it's not a matter of, he's from my place, let me die for him. No. And like I said, these ancestors have messed up this country enough. Let the youths, let the younger ones try. Let us see the difference. Look at nations. The president of France, how old is he? British that colonized Nigeria, their prime minister now, how old is
47, sir.
And then you come here and bring people they brought out of grave and who are wearing pampers to come and be misbehaving everywhere. Is that how it's
painful, sir.
Is that
ridiculous, sir.
Is that what it should be?
It's very insulting, sir. The common knowledge of everybody.
It's enough. It's enough. Let this country move forward. Nigeria has what it takes. Nigerians in America are making grounds. Nigerians in different places. So Nigeria, how can we have such Nigerians in other countries who are helping the nation? Then we come here and the idiots will be ruling Nigeria. It's not something that should continue. People who are nobodies, from nowhere, you will become governor. Even when he failed election, he will become governor. And then be misbehaving. Where there are intellectuals, where there are decent people, and then, everybody feels it's okay, it should continue like that. It shouldn't continue that way. It shouldn't continue at all. So those people who they give 3,000 and 5,000 to go and vote.
No, 2 packets of Indomie.
Or 2 packets of
Indomie. 2 derrick of rice. And 4 yards of Ankara.
Okay.
And face cap.
And face cap.
Yes, sir.
To go and then vote away.
They say all the local governments should bring all their youth out. Even the local government chairman cannot pay salary. Because all the money has been used to print T-shirts, print face cap, motivate the youth. You just bring them to the stadium.
You see, these people who all these years have been used, NSAS came up.
Yes, sir. That was 2020.
And everybody thought that will bring Nigeria to the point it should be. And it ended the way it ended. Youths were killed and things like that. And up to today, it's just that way. We don't want bloody revolution, but revolution is a must.
Common sense revolution.
It must come to change this narrative and let everybody live well, feel good. If you go out, you'll be able to proudly say you are a Nigerian, you are an African, because other African countries, like I said, are copying the nonsense that we are, doing, and it doesn't have to continue. What we are talking about is next month.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's just there.
Yes, sir.
And that's why we are taking the time we are taking.
Yeah, that's why.
To try to,
to illuminate and to enlighten, and to orientate.
Enlighten those who we can reach, so that they can try to reach others. Let them know that this is beyond tribe, this is beyond religion. This is a time of reality. This is a time we have to come to our senses and say, these people, you have used us, fooled us enough. Now, we want the real change. The change they promised before turned to be a shame.
Change to shame.
Shame. They shamed people, shamed everywhere. Now, let there be change. Let Nigerians, for once, be happy to be Nigerians. Look at everywhere killings, kidnapping, everywhere bloodshed. And these people are comfortable because them and their families are being protected. And they forget that each day anybody is killed, a family is mourning. And then because your own family, you are intact, it's as if it doesn't mean anything. One soul that any family lost puts them in mourning. And so, because you have people guiding you, policemen and army and whatever guiding you and your family, and the others are dying as if they are not the same human beings, God will judge it. No.
God will judge.
God will judge it
at the appropriate time.
He has a way of doing his thing. The atrocity in Nigeria, God will judge it. You know, because a lot of things, some of the things we cannot even say here that have happened in this country, that is happening in this country, God will judge it. Definite. There's none of them. Every one of them have their life in their nose, their breath in their nose. There is God that rules over man. And that is why I don't have time to say I fear anybody. Do you have your life in your hand?
No.
You know, so you can't. God is the supreme, and He's the one that decides what happens. You know, so
what do you think is what is the body language of the father of faith when you look at people like the one they call E. Adeboye? You look at people like one Bishop Oyedepo in Otade. You look at people. Okay, Oyedepo has even tried to endorse Atiku at the time, you know, but look at people like Papa Kumuyi in Bagada. You look at even the former CAN chairman, is a bishop or something, I would say, Jaffor. I mean, the Christian leaders, I mean, the father of faith. What do you see them? Because in every country, you look out for these people who control the minds of people. Did you see them participating positively in electing a good leader for Nigeria this year?
If you see, to start with, for APC to have the God to do what they did, shows they know that there's no Christian leadership in Nigeria.